And this is a live look outside over in New Orleans with our sister station WDSU. Those waters are choppy. Then it is getting rough out there with the storm surge slowly picking up heading into the afternoon. I'll show you that update on the wave height in just a second, but here's the general look right now across the Gulf coastline with Hurricane Francine. The 1 o'clock advisory, 90-mile-an-hour winds. Not shocked with that at all. We've been mentioning all morning long that this storm is not going to intensify any longer. We have a lot of shear with this storm, which is actually helping limit it to strengthen. But one thing we are watching is a trough off towards Texas, and that's actually going to help push this storm further inland quicker. So over the past hour, we've seen that movement actually go up from 13 miles an hour to the north and east to now 16 miles an hour. The wave heights off the coastline anywhere between 5 feet just off the coast and up to around 15, if not 20 feet farther off the coastline where that center of the storm is. I don't expect wave heights nearly this high as it moves onto land, but even then the storm surge threat is going to be an issue from Gulfport into Lake Pontchartrain and right down along the Louisiana coastline. These communities flood often and further inland whenever we have these impactful hurricanes. We saw it in 2020, we saw it in 2021 as well, because they are at and below sea level. So it doesn't take much with heavy rainfall to flood these areas, but then you add storm surge to it and it's not helpful at all. Just now there's a tornado watch down towards Louisiana and the coastal communities. That includes Harrison and Jackson County along the coastline. And there is one new tornado warning for Plaquemines Parish. That does not include Central Mississippi. I do not really expect tornado issues today for Central Mississippi. Our main impact going into tonight and tomorrow will be wind and rain. Here's the latest update. When it comes to the wind gusts, starting to pick up 35, 40, almost 45-mile-an-hour gusts. There's that center. The eye itself now starting to come showing up on the radar with that outer band or the eye wall getting closer inland. I still expect a landfall east of Franklin anywhere between around 3 o'clock to around 5, 6 o'clock this afternoon. For us across central Mississippi, we are dry for the most part north of I-20, but there are light to moderate downpours anywhere from Columbia to Woodville, Fayette, Port Gibson, and up now into Vicksburg. Wind gusts anywhere between 20 to 25 miles an hour. That's going to continue through the rest of the afternoon as well as this evening. Now let's talk about when that impact day really goes into effect, because honestly, it's not going to be until after dark. So if you're watching this and you're like, I need to get final preparations done, you do still have a couple of hours. I'd say by around 5 o'clock, any of those preparations that need to be done should already be done. We do expect the heaviest of the rain and the strongest of the wind to occur after midnight. And once that center moves along I-55, this is when we could see the strongest of the wind and the heaviest of the rain for parts of the state. Good news is by 10, 12 o'clock, it's out of here. We'll keep the wind going, but drier air on the backside of it. Heaviest of the rainfall will stay east of 55. That's going to be the greatest chance for a flash flooding. Parts of the metro included in that, in addition to power outages. Whenever you have a soaked ground and you have several hours of strong gusts, this could cause outages, especially down towards the coastline from Hattiesburg, Picayune, down towards Gulfport. Widespread power outages. The rest of central Mississippi looking likely to have power outages of some caliber. All right, the good news is Friday into the weekend, we dry out several days of nice, quiet forecasts.